pretty overcast today, actually. So I'm doing this live stream, killing some time. Took my C8 in today. It's getting an OptiSeal put on. I haven't been able to wash the Corvette in over 30 days. And so ceramic detail in Conroe. Yep, this is live. Don't read my profile. I'm just sitting here at Papa's on the Lake here in Conroe to kill about a couple hours while they work on the car. Yeah, I can see your messages. Firefang, not going to answer that question. Just killing some time here. Thought I'd just do a live stream, chat, and try to see if I can take up a couple hours of time while my car gets done. So yeah, so I'm sitting here at Papa's on the Lake. I think this is Lake Conroe. Can show a little bit better view. A little overcast today. Hopefully it doesn't rain. I hope it doesn't rain. I'm gonna have the C8 has not been washed or cleaned in over 30 days, and it was so filthy when I brought it in. So yeah, cloudy weather. So about to mix up one of these Zip Fizz. I don't know if anyone's tried any of these. Zip Fizz has got like a whole bunch of B12 in it. I don't like Red Bulls or Monster or other sugary type energy drinks. So when I discovered this, I drink at least 2 of these a day. Super easy. Just mix it in whatever water, bottle of water, shake it up, or a cup of water, shake it up. This one's peach mango. All right. Time for rain. Hopefully it doesn't rain. So what else I want to talk about today? I think I'm less than 17, 18 days, a little over 2 weeks away from the Slam Dunk Challenge. So March 31st, I kind of call it I'm either going to dunk or tear an ACL. I think there was a video, I think it was Tom Segura that was trying to do a layup or something, and he had messed up his leg really bad. I don't think I'm going to do anything like that, but I'm hoping that I can once again slam dunk in life. So it's been I think 1920 is how old I was when I last was able to slam dunk. Back then I weighed about 170 pounds. Right now I'm sitting around 290, so it's gonna be quite a feat for me to try to do it again. So yeah, Tom Segura tearing his ACL. Yeah, Rage 64, thanks. Yeah, that was gruesome looking. His leg just kind of did something it's not supposed to do. I don't really see that happening. I mean, it is a possibility. I mean, ACL tears are very prominent for people playing basketball and doing anything on a basketball court. So, thank you, Shammy Wow. Is Shammy Wow a reference to World of Warcraft? Because I used to play WoW, World of Warcraft. The Horde was always I liked playing Paladins. If we're talking World of Warcraft real quick, I'm assuming that's what your name is referencing. Shammy, if you could reply back. Yes, it is. So I'm assuming a shaman, Shammy Wow. I'm assuming that you play shaman. I think the shamans that had the chain lightning, which was pretty badass. I always played a blood elf paladin. I like to be a tank, taking all the damage and keeping all the aggro on me. The server I played on, the number one tank on the server I played on was Bubble 07. So I don't know if you'll ever watch this, but Bubble 07, he was one of the best prot tanks I've ever seen. Man, you could just aggro for days. So no, it's not cold where I'm at. Yeah, Shaman a while. It's not cold. I think it's in the 70s, mid 70s here. So no, it's actually pretty nice. Not like it was a few weeks ago when Texas got that winter storm. that was something else. So, but yeah, shamans and WoW, they were pretty bad. I loved the Blood Elves. Blood Elf Pally is what I played. I think my secondary character was a rogue. Rogues were really good with DPS. Yeah, I kind of got out of WoW when I think the level cap was 85 when I finally dropped out of it. I sold my account. I think I sold my account for about $600. I had a whole bunch of level 85s. I think I had 500,000 gold and a lot of great gear. So yeah, I sold it for about $600 when I sold my account. So not going to discuss that, Polsky. Let's see, why a Corvette and not a 4GT? 4GTs look nice. The story on the Corvette is, full disclosure, I have never been a Corvette fan. Never, ever, ever. Hold on a second here. Let me do this. Let me do that. And let me do that. And oh, I'm sorry, Sham. I think I accidentally put you, trying to figure out how. All right, so Corvette. I've never been a Corvette fan. I just never liked the design of a Corvette. And then I think it was around January last year, right before the quarantine and COVID hit. I started seeing the YouTube videos of all the folks talking about the new redesign and showing off their, people that got the Corvette in early. And I was like, wow, this doesn't even look like a Corvette. It looks, in fact, my immediate response was, this looks just like a Ferrari. And of course, there's a lot of people that do the comparison videos of the F8 and the C8. I know Chevy's not pulling no punches. They're going after the exotic Italian design, and they're going after Ferrari. I mean, let's just call it what it is. So, are you planning to grow your beard? I am letting it grow out a little bit. I do have a photo shoot to capture the second year of my progress in FormerlyME. That photo shoot. The photo shoot will be sometime in September, October timeframe. So I don't know how much of the beard I'm going to let grow out. But part of the photo shoot process, when I did the calendar last November, I had my beard kind of scruffy, had my hair kind of long. So what we did was, in one day of photo shoots, my sister's a photographer, and we shout out to Forever Flash Studios up in North Little Rock. So what we did was we did two haircuts in one day. So I came to the studio with the long hair, long beard, gruffy beard. We shot a couple shots for the couple of months of the calendar. Then we went to a stylist, had them do a medium-sized cut, slight trim on the beard, a couple more months of shots, and then we went back again to do a clean shave and a really short cut on the hair for the final month. So we actually one day was able to have like 3 different looks throughout the year. And so that's kind of the plan that we're looking forward to do again this year. So, okay, Aquaberry Aquarius, you're going on time out. What was I talking about? WoW. Yeah, WoW was definitely a lot of my life. One of the problems with WoW I had was I would be up all night running a raid. You get lack of sleep because sometimes, a raid in WoW can last like 2+ hours easy. So thank you, Real Cynthia. Love you too. The latest thing I've done this week, so it's transitioning from WoW. I did a spray tan. So I did a spray tan at Glow Sun Spa for the calendar shoot last November. And then aurabrush.com, shout out to those guys. They did a spray tan on me. So the problem was I didn't get as dark as I thought I would because I was supposed to wait, I think, another 2 hours to let it set into the skin. So, let's see. Do you like to sleep? I do like to sleep, but one of the things I don't think I'll ever do is a sleep stream. I find it very odd to just sleep on camera and people watch me while I sleep. I think that's, my opinion, it's kind of creepy and weird, so I don't think I'll do a sleep stream if that's what that question's alluding to. YouTube Germany. So shout out to Germany. I lived in Germany for several years. I think 3.5 years I lived in Germany. I first lived in Heidelberg. Beautiful town. Beautiful town, Heidelberg. And then I moved when the Army shut down their bases in Heidelberg and relocated to Wiesbaden. I lived actually in downtown Wiesbaden off the main, the Strasse, the walking street in downtown Wiesbaden. And so, sleep streams. Yeah, I'm not going to do any sleep streams. Care to tell a tip for those beginning lifting weights? So, the artist lifting weights. I think with weights, the best thing is form over the amount of weight. Hold on one second. Players N06. Okay. And yeah, so with weights, at the end of the day, I think it's probably better to maybe start off on like a machine where the movement is already kind of predefined for you. Because with free weights, you know, sometimes, like for example, like a bicep curl, one of my early mistakes with free weights is when you're doing your like whatever curl, you tend to use your shoulders more than your actual bicep, and that comes down to technique and form. Whereas with a machine, let's say you're on like a preacher curl bench, your movement is very limited and restricted in a good way, so that you can focus the motion or the execution on the muscle that you're targeting. So my recommendation when anyone's starting to lift weights is try to utilize the machines first, because they are set up to the headlines on the news, but I haven't really dived deep into it. Stuff like that. Andrew Cheryl is, how are you feeling? I'm feeling great. I'm getting my beat. Feeling pretty good. Exercise better for legs than treadmill. So I am not a fan of treadmills. I think the psychology of being like a hamster on a wheel is works against the idea of, you know, trying to be on something for a long time. I do prefer ellipticals simply because of the my knees and ankles try not to have a lot of impact on them. So I definitely prefer an elliptical over a treadmill. Yeah. You know, there are nowadays they're adding the LCD screens or the monitors where it'll feel like you're hiking through a canyon or running through a forest. I think that's a great idea because it's more exciting when you feel like you're going somewhere. You know, I think all they need to do is add some fans so you got like wind blowing through your face, or maybe add it with a VR headset. I think maybe I could probably see myself with a VR headset on a treadmill, maybe going longer if it was more immersive. Only a few words. My favorite thing in Germany is, if there's any Germans watching, nectar juice. I'm not a beer drinker. 2 thumbs up. So for the Germans out there, banana bison, and I know a lot of you are going to laugh from Germany. The other thing I like is the Coke beer. I have a funny story. I'll get to that in a second. This is not California. This is actually Conroe, Texas. I think there's Lake Conroe behind me. Vibes Beats. How much does C8 cost you? So I did the 2LT package on my C8. 2LT package with the Z51 Performance. I think with all the options and little accessories that I added to the car, it was about $85K. Yeah, the Wi-Fi here is not that great, so it might buffer and so forth. Juice. I'm not a big juice fan, other than B12 from Zip Fez and water. Yeah, I'm not a big juice fan. Okay. Yeah, sorry about the buffering, guys. Let's see, got Clorox. Pretty good price. I mean, considering the performance, you have a 0 to 60 of 2.9 seconds. It's mid-engine. I mean, it's a very unique looking car, other than looking like a Ferrari F8. It is very exotic. It definitely turns heads, gets people to slow down in traffic around me. No Bev Greg, I'm doing great today. How old am I, Nick? I'm 44. I just turned 44. Let's see. This Clorox bleach guy is aggravating. All right. So, I thought I put this person on a timeout. Let me do this again. All right. Timeout. All right, Sandra Ross, first time here, welcome. Again, for those just tuning in, I'm just killing some time. My Corvette, the C8, is getting an OptiSeal put on it. I haven't been able to wash it. For over 30 days because of the ceramic seal coating. So it's getting some TLC today. What is going on with this person? I thought I put this. All right. So thank you. Yeah. Other than the white that I have in my beard and hair, which is mostly from stress, I get a lot of stress. Obviously, the career I work in cybersecurity can get really stressful with all the stuff that I have to work with. So, all right. So let me put that person on timeout too. Any new book titles? Not right now. I've taken a break from writing for a while. My last book, Bellum de Numeros, which is Latin for War of Numbers. It's the fourth and final book of the Magica Mathematica series. That was the last one I published. I actually won an award recently. I actually won a Reader Ready Award for that one. I think it's in the running for an IPPY Award and 2 other awards. So hopefully it picks up another award this year. Jen Carlos, I'm doing well, doing well. Insurance high on the Corvette. So the Corvette is not my daily driver right now. It's classified as a pleasure vehicle. So the Corvette is a. I need to just remove this person. Try that again. Let's see. Are you planning to travel after? A lot of questions. Now this guy's getting aggravating. How do I? Thank you, Colt 45. Traveling. So I just recently traveled to Vegas on a trip where lately I've done a couple trips to Vegas where I get in, rent a car, and I leave the Vegas area. I go on a previous trip, which is the video on my channel. Wow, is this like multiple accounts? I keep putting this person. So I Shammy World, I just put you as a moderator. Let's see. Yeah, I'm doing good over here. Thank you. I keep trying to put this Clorox bleach person on timeout, but this is not working that great. All right. So where was we at? All right. Let's do this. How do I keep trying to put this guy on timeout. It's not working out. Yeah, I'm using Prism, guys, so it's still taking me a while to learn how to do all the different things here. So, hold on a second. Shammy Wow, I've added you as a moderator. We got 100 accounts. Mistaken identity, I added you as a moderator. So anyhow, I'm trying to remember what the last questions were. Traveling. So I went to Zion National Park in Utah. It was really great experience. I should have that video edited and posted this weekend. I got 2 karaoke nights. I go to karaoke on Friday night tonight, and I go to a karaoke night on Saturday. So between those 2 nights, usually when I'm not singing, I'm on a laptop editing videos. So I should have that video out by this weekend. Yeah, Utah was awesome. It's only like a 2.5 hour drive, if I recall, from Vegas. And then on the way back, I drove through Valley of Fire. I'd been there on a previous trip. Just love driving through Valley of Fire. It's just really beautiful. So, yeah, so I will probably stream karaoke. I don't know if I'll stream the one tonight or the one tomorrow, because I kind of feel like it's going to be boring if I'm sitting just on my laptop editing videos. But I might do the one tonight. So, let's see. Wow, this person is just relentless. Almost like spamming the chat. So, other travel plans, if the international travel restrictions gets lifted on it, I will go to Dubai. In Dubai, I'm going to do another sauna suit challenge. I will try to go out to the desert in Dubai and see how long I can take being in a sauna suit out in the desert, where it can hit like 50 plus degrees. Billy Screams. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I'm going to add you as moderator too. Holden, I'm going to add you as moderator too. Let's see. Yeah, this guy's non-stop. Days, that's pretty funny. You're a moderator too. So yeah, Dubai is on my list of travel. As far as personal travel, I do want to go to Scotland, Ireland. I love going to London. London's my favorite city in the world, followed by Tokyo. Let's see. Andrew Fan, I'm going to make you a moderator. Vibe Beats, you're a moderator. So yeah, I am looking forward to traveling internationally again. You know, for the past year, I haven't really been able to travel overseas due to COVID. But definitely looking forward to the world getting back to normal in regards to international travel and traveling again. I love to travel. I love to go see new places, experience new things. And see, we got Sir Fish Sticks. What do you like about London? I've been 51 times to London. What I like about London is the energy. I like when a place has culture and history everywhere you go. Like every building has some history, whether grand or small. There's history everywhere. I love how walkable the city is, even though it has one of the best metro systems in the world to get people around. The city is just super walkable and just lovely. Other than the rain that can come and go, but the London is just a wonderful city. I've never had a bad meal in London. I've heard stories where people have had horrible experiences with restaurants, but lots of great restaurants, lots of great sites. The history, the culture, just love London. And it's only followed by Tokyo, because Tokyo is just a whole nother world. I've been to Tokyo 3 times, so it's just a whole nother place. So, let's see. We had some questions pop in while I was talking. Sorry if I accidentally timed out somebody, because it's hard keeping up with the chat, and I have big hands and fingers. So yeah, just kind of show everyone again, I'm here on Lake Conroe. Sun is starting to come out, which is a good thing. So I'm just here killing some time, waiting on the C8 to get the OptiSeal put on. And Jess Nolan, what's up? Just killing some time. My C8 is getting the OptiSeal put on it. So favorite place have you traveled? So London's my favorite city. Tokyo number 2, Barcelona, Athens. I love those places as well. Berlin, Amsterdam. Favorite country? Oh, it's hard. Cities are one thing. Countries, Spain is just a lovely, lovely country. Had great memories in Spain. Southern coast of France, Cannes, Nice, all those areas. Back down to Spain, to Costa del Sol, Marbella. Lovely places to go to. But as far as if I had to put one country where I would just love to just chill and relax, is Greece. Greece is a land of 1,000 islands. So if you don't like one place where you're at, you could just hop a boat and go to another island. So Italy, Italy and I have a mixed bag. Italy, I'm not a fan of Rome, even though it has some of the best sights to see. My favorite Italian city is a tie between, I love Florence. Florence is beautiful. It is heaven on earth, followed by Verona. Both those places. Okay, island hopping, yeah. Rage 64, Florida. Yeah, Greece is awesome. Actually, I might be doing a trip to Florida. So my youngest daughter and I, next week is our spring break, but we're thinking about maybe hopping out to Orlando and seeing one of the big theme parks there, and just to kind of spend a weekend out. Venice. So I've taken a lot of cruises out of Venice, but one thing I'll say about Venice, it's not a place to go if you have young kids. Like if you're pushing strollers, don't go to Venice. Venice is not very friendly for people with strollers because there's all these steps and bridges over all the canals. So I've seen people with a couple baby strollers and a couple of little babies, and they gotta like lift up carry the strollers over the bridge. Yeah, you definitely don't want to go with young kids to Venice. But Venice is nice. The gondola rides are quite expensive. So again, just heads up, you could easily spend about €80+ to go on a short ride on a gondola. So. Have I been to the Middle East? I think someone asked that. Yes, I have. I lived in Dubai and Kuwait for many years, for about 9 years. So, what is happening? What is happening is I'm killing some time, waiting on my C8 to get done. All right. Favorite airline to fly? Ooh, good question. I flew a lot of Emirates flights, so Emirates is super nice. But I got to say, Singapore Airways is right up there with them. But Emirates, I flew Emirates the most. All right, you got a lot of people spamming the chat here, but let me go back up to what someone was asking. Israel, have not been to Israel. I do want to go to Tel Aviv. I've heard great things about Tel Aviv. I've been to Beirut many times. And I've always heard wonderful things about Tel Aviv. But I do want to go to Israel. It's on the list. So Emirates, yeah, West No Stress. Emirates is great. Let's see. Asia, I've been to Japan. I've been to the Philippines. I've been to Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, Thailand. I have not been to Morocco. I've been to Mexico. I've been to a couple places in Mexico. All right, where was that at? Have you been to Japan? Musical Cubs. I have been to Japan. I've been to Osaka and Tokyo. Both cities wonderful. Both actually very different experiences. Actually, Osaka was very serene and peaceful, and just Tokyo was just super energy, like a whole nother planet. I'll try to scroll back up to see what other questions I missed. Is there a country you won't go to? So I have been to Iraq. Someone just asked about Iraq. I have not been to Greenland. Iraq, I worked in Iraq with the U.S. Army for about 2.5 years. So yeah, in Iraq, I've been in Baghdad, the Green Zone. I've been in, where was Anaconda at? I think that was near maybe Mosul. I've been in the northern part of Iraq. I've been around Baghdad, and yeah. Countries I won't go to. So certain countries I won't go to. There's obviously certain communist/socialist countries that, for clearance reasons, I probably won't be going to anytime soon. Let me scroll back up. I know I missed some questions here, and I'm trying to get to your questions. Thank you. Let's see. Hawaiian Gamer. Hawaii. I love Hawaii. Actually, I used to go to speak at a conference. It was the User Pack, the TechNet conference, and so they did it virtually this year. So I was supposed to go there. Hawaiian Gamer, I'm going to add you as a moderator. I love Hawaii. I've been, of course, the conference is held at Waikiki Beach. But I always tell people, don't stay in Waikiki Beach. Like, don't be in the tourist trap of Waikiki Beach. Get to the northern part of that island. They have Giovanni's Shrimp Truck on the north part. There's a lot of food trucks up on the northern part. There's a snow cone place up there that's super busy with a long line. The northern part of that island is just amazing. So I will start doing some more travel streams and so forth. The problem is internet connectivity at different places. Like Zion, the internet connectivity was not that great. So let's see. I know I missed some questions here. Do you have a cheat day? So yes, I do have a cheat day. Usually on my cheat days is a heavy carb day. So yeah, so that's usually what that is. Rome. The best thing about Rome is getting out of Rome. No, I mean, there's a lot of good sites. I mean, everybody goes to the Trevi Fountain. Everybody goes to the Spanish Steps. Goes to the Vatican. My first experience in Rome, I stayed at a hotel not far from the Colosseum, and it was super hot and humid. And I think I took 5 showers that day. That's how hot and humid it was. But when I got on the train the next morning, went up to Florence. Florence was this breezy, beautiful weather. It was a great experience. And I got to see the David. So, again, one of the few times that artwork has left me astounded. I have not tried Zumba. I'll have to maybe add that to the list of things to try for FormerlyME. If I ever go back to Hawaii. Yes, so Hawaii, again, I was supposed to be there this spring, but the conference became virtual. So, no trip to Hawaii this year. Denmark, I haven't. I heard good things about Copenhagen, so I'd love to go to Denmark someday. Amsterdam, I've been to Amsterdam several times. So, yeah, I have not been to Denmark, though. I know I missed a lot of questions here. Bermuda, I have not been to Bermuda, but I've been to the Caribbean. So, yeah, other places I won't go. One of my worst travel experiences, best resort hotel in Vegas. I mean, it's easy to say Caesar's Palace. It's easy to say that one. I like any of the ones that are like centrally located. Like if you're around the Bellagio, that's a good midpoint because, so like Paris, for example, that's where I actually just stayed in Paris when I went on this trip. And at Paris, you get a good view of the fountains and obviously the Eiffel Tower, etc. if you get that side of the hotel. Yeah, I just think anything. I mean, I've stayed at MGM, I've stayed at Luxor, MGM, Bally's, Caesars, and Paris. So I kind of like Paris. All right, someone I think mentioned, did they say Turkey? This is not my music. This is Papa's on the Lake where I'm at, killing some time. This is just their soundtrack. So they're playing a lot of 80s pop and rock. Turkey is awesome. Actually, the first country I ever went to outside of the U.S. in my life, when I was, I think I was 20 or 21, I went to Istanbul, Turkey. Istanbul, I've been there 3 times. I've been to Istanbul. And it's a lovely city, very lovely city. My first experience international travel was Turkey. So, have I gone to Mexico? So I've been to Cancun. I've been to, what's the other city that usually people go to? Cozumel, Cancun. But that's about it, usually during cruises. Just dad music. This is definitely dad music. I'm more of a 90s alternative rock. I like, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam. I mean, I like more modern stuff too. I mean, Linkin Park, Chester, rest in peace. Chris Cornell, also rest in peace. A lot of my favorite bands and singers usually, victims of suicide, and so it's unfortunate that we lose such great souls and talents too early, too soon. So, have not been to Cabo. Billy Ocean, Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie. All right, Gears of Judgment, yeah. All good artists. I like Billie Eilish. I mean, her stuff is pretty good. I mean, I remember when I heard, I think the first song I ever heard of hers was When the Party's Over. It's kind of a very melodramatic, slow song, but I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm a big person. I'm big on lyrics, like lyrical content. As a writer and author myself, words have meaning. And I remember the first time I heard that song, I have not been to Canada, Jen Carlos. The first time I heard the first Billie Eilish song, When the Party's Over, I remember thinking to myself, how old is this girl there's no way she's had enough life experience to have lived that song. But then when I quickly found out her older brother, collaborates and writes a lot of the songs, I was like, okay, now that makes sense. He pretty much wrote that song and she's performed it. Beautiful combination of those two. I mean, that's a great, powerhouse music duo, in my opinion. So her being a fantastic singer and him being an excellent writer. Viper ACR. Vipers used to be my dream car. When I was a teenager, the Dodge Viper was my dream car. When I got a little older, the Mercedes AMG SLS with the gold wing doors became my top car. And for the past few years, the Tesla Roadster is at the top of my list because I simply love that initial acceleration, 0 to 60 times. My current C8 has a 0 to 60 of 2.9 seconds. My previous Scat Pack, I think, was right at 4 seconds. I don't do any racing. If I did, I'd probably kill myself. So that's probably why I don't. Other artists that I like nowadays, Gus Dapperton. There's a song he's got out, really great lyrics. Posthumous, I think, is a wonderfully written song. What else do I like? I think there's some other stuff I really get down to. While I'm on the phone, I'd look on the phone real quick. But definitely lyrics are really important to me. Lunch today was shrimp tacos. Before I did the stream, I wolfed down 2 shrimp tacos, so they were pretty good here. Canada is nice. All right, I have not been to Canada, so I've not. I've heard. Is it Vancouver? Is it Vancouver, or what's the other city that people just say is super beautiful? I want to say it's Vancouver. So, Sandra, if you want to comment on what the top city, if I go to Canada to see, is, I don't think it's Montreal. I want to say it's that everybody says Vancouver is the place to go. All right, Victoria Gardens. Don't know what that is. Thoughts on the vaccine for COVID? Will you be getting it? So, oh goodness. So, I believe what I last heard about one of the vaccines, it has pretty much like a 95 point something percent effectiveness. I'm more of a proponent of obviously things like medical things and science. I mean, the medical field is a practice, right? We're always practicing and making it better. I've been a year plus COVID free, and I take my precautions. I socially distance where applicable. I don't go to large crowded places. I don't really, do a lot or interact with a lot of people outside of the few people I do interact with. So I'm going to roll the dice until we get a more data on these vaccines. I'm not an anti-vaxxer by no means. I believe in science. I believe in research and science. But for me, I just want to give it a little bit more time to make sure that we have something more than 90, 95, or 96%. Yeah, so when I do decide to make the internet shuffle, I will have to probably bite the bullet on that. Gallons to fill. I put in the highest octane gas in my Corvette. I think it costs about $40 to fill a tank, and I usually go through about a tank a week. So, tank Robitussin. Put more water in the bottle, shake it up, more tussin. Chris Rock joke there. There was some questions here. Let me scroll back up. Toronto. All right, Toronto. Jerusalem and Medina, Mecca. I have not been to Saudi, and I have not been to Jerusalem. I definitely would like to go to Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. All right, let me get back up to... Yeah, that Tessin joke was funny. Trinidad and Tobago. I'd love to go down there, too. I have not been to a lot of places in South America, and I think before... I've considered maybe in a year or two relocating overseas again. And before I do that, I think I might do a tour of South America. Maybe take like a whole summer, maybe 2-3 months, and just do a South America tour. And we'll see. We'll see if that ends up becoming something I do. Denmark. So I've been to Oslo. I spent one day in Oslo. I was traveling to Tromsø, Norway. So for who was that just said that? That was Pure Trash Shooter. So a friend of mine, we decided to do a trip. He wanted to go see the Northern Lights, and on the trip, he decided to go to Tromsø. I wanted to go to Iceland. He said, "Hey, we got to go to this place called Tromsø, Norway," and we did dog sledding. Horrible experience. It was like negative 20 degrees. The sun came up for 1 hour in the day. The coldest I've ever been. I had 2 sets of thermals on, t-shirt, sweater, jacket, wool overcoat, and the wind just cuts through all that fabric right to your skin, right to your soul, really, is how cold it is. But I did spend a day in Oslo, really nice, beautiful town. Northern Lights, so in Tromsø, the Northern Lights, at least during that 2 nights that we spent there, were not as bright like you see on the internet, the pictures where it just blows your mind. But I do want to go to Iceland, and I think that's probably where I'll see the level of the Northern Lights I want to see. So, Mongolia, Gobi Desert. Yeah, I would like to go to the Gobi Desert. Let's see. Have you been into trying some food from those countries that you've been? Yeah, so everywhere I go and I travel to, I'd like to get off the beaten path. I've actually written travel articles for City Pages magazine, and what I call those travel articles, I call them the top 5. And so what the top 5 is the number 1 place to stay, hotel-wise, the best place to eat, the best place to shop, the best thing to do while you're there, and then the thing off the beaten path. Number 5 was always off the beaten path. You know, I like to try to get out of the tourist traps, kind of go into the back streets, try to find something that's just, you would only know it if you knew it was there, if you explored. So, yeah, I definitely like experiencing food and culture and just kind of being open-minded to being in the country. If you go somewhere and you only eat McDonald's, you're not really expanding your horizons or embracing the country for what it has to offer. So Eastern Bloc, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania. Of those countries, I've only been to Estonia. I went to Tallinn. Estonia is really interesting because we participate, or the U.S. participates in cyber war games there. So we have a great relationship there. Pakistan and India, I would like to go to both those places. I have a huge fan base in India in regards to my book series, and I just never seem to be able to coordinate. I think when I'm available to go there, it's during a bad time of year to go, so it's always something I've never been to work out in my schedule. But I would like to travel. Friends of mine have done motorcycle tours of India, and I think it would be no issue to do a Pakistan and India trip. Let's see. Color, not coal. What was this? Let's see. The banks. Let's see. What? My Corvette is black. It's one of the worst colors for a Corvette because 1, it gets dirty super fast. 2, it's the hardest to keep. Well, 1, keep clean and keep scratches and swirlies out of it. Sandra, yes. So I did a lot of volunteer work when I was in Iraq. I would, on my days off, go to the combat military operation centers and volunteer, interact with the kids and stuff. Great memories of that. Actually, if I ever look back on Iraq and my time there, that was some of the best memories I have is the volunteer work I did in Iraq. I've done some volunteer work in the Philippines and some other countries, so it's very rewarding. Money... money, time, and your energy is 3 things you get to choose how you spend them. There's a joke. People talk about the thoughts and prayers thing. Whenever something bad happens in the world, people are like, oh, my thoughts and prayers. And I think it's Anthony Jeselnik. He has a special called Thoughts and Prayers. And the bit he talks about how unless you're giving your time, money, or compassion to something, your thoughts and prayers are worthless. And I believe in that. So there's also a saying that be the change you want to see in the world. I believe in that wholeheartedly. And I definitely do what I can. Armenia, all right. Super nice people, beautiful landscape. Thanks for the recommendation. I have not been to Ireland. That is high on my list. Ireland and Scotland are very high on my list. Hopefully this year, if possible. So yeah, it's starting to warm up out here. So thanks for everyone for joining the chat. Thanks to the moderators for helping clean it up. Yeah, the sun is now out. It did look like it was going to potentially rain earlier. Yeah, vibes. Ireland is definitely on my list of places to go. I recently gave a friend of mine, you know, those things on the internet where you can give someone like a square foot of land and like a Irish Lord title. So I did that for a friend of mine recently. Yeah, making time, not killing time. Yeah, I am. Billy Screams. I'm having a great day. My C8's getting taken care of. I'm hopefully another hour and a half away from going to pick it up. So if the data connection is good, I might just keep it going until I get in the Uber, and it's only a short drive to the car. So the Fat Cat, welcome to the chat. What else have been some good experiences? You know, people talk about charity and giving back. I did a calendar for my FormerlyME. My 1 year body transformation. I did a photo shoot with my sister at Forever Flash Studios in North Little Rock. And after all the expenses and the shipping fees, I raised $540. I wanted to raise $1,000, but you know, during the COVID pandemic, I mean, a lot of people didn't really have as much cash or money around the holidays as usual. But I still think it is an achievement that I raised $540. I donated the $540 to St. Jude's, Autism Services Southwest Louisiana, and the Rucker Foundation. So yeah, the giving back and trying to help make a difference is really important to me. But yeah, the calendar was one thing I've done recently. I'm doing a slam dunk challenge. In the description of this video is a link to the GoFundMe. I think I've raised, I want to say it's either $125 or $175 of $1,000. I'm trying to raise $1,000 to support Child Mind Institute. On the 31st of this month, I'm going to attempt to slam dunk. I haven't done it since I was like 19, 20 years old. Preston Reeves, no speeding tickets. No speeding tickets. I drive like a grandpa. So yeah, I have not been pulled over yet either. But the slam dunk challenge is important to me. Again, I hope that you guys could help me raise money and awareness for Child Mind Institute. I'm trying to raise $1,000. All the funds, GoFundMe sends them directly to the nonprofit. I don't get to touch any of that. I've had some people, really, really bitter and negative people, just accuse me of trying to like pocket charity money, and I don't need the money. So, oh God, I didn't want to say. I was about to say. Well, I wasn't going to say it. I'm the kind of person, if I got something that crosses my head, I'm going to say what I'm thinking. I'm rich, so I don't need the pocket GoFundMe money. Oh God. The first time I heard that word, I was like, what is someone trying to say? I didn't try to say wretched, but ratch. Slang these days, it just kind of escapes me. But I do not eat in the car. Preston Reeves, I do not eat in the car at all. And there's really no room to eat in the C8. I mean, put it this way, going to Costco in a C8 is one of the most sad experiences you could ever have. So actually, I used my younger daughter's car to go to the Costco. Yeah, people are angry or frustrated, but you know what I will say to that? There are also so many great people out there that are positive, have great energy. I mean, if you just look at any of my videos, about 90+% of the comments are supportive. People sharing a little bit of their lives with me. I read every comment. So every comment that hits my YouTube channel, I read it. And people sharing stories about difficulties in their families and their family relationships and their relationships with their parents or their father. It's just been really touching. And it's the internet can be a hate-filled place, but it can also be a place that filled with empathy and love and understanding as well. And that's what I've gotten to see the best of the internet. So when I first started going through this drama recently in my life, for the first 24 hours was the worst of the internet. But I will be honest to say, since that first 24 hours, what has happened is I've got to see the beautiful parts of the internet. And people just sharing pieces of their lives with me is simply astounding. And then when you feel like you're not alone, so anyone that ever watches this video, if you ever feel like lonely, hopeless, you want to give up, don't. You're not alone. You know, there are so many people in the world that are feeling just like you do, and there's always the beauty to be found. And so, yeah, I will leave it at that. Yeah, I know. There's a friend of mine had a situation where they were in a store and they heard a crash in the aisle, and a lot of people were gathered around watching. There was this elderly man that I guess started to fall, and he knocked over a bunch of stuff off the shelf. And people were just standing around just looking at this guy, you know, just like watching this old man. And this old man felt embarrassed. You know, he's trying to pick up the stuff off the floor. And so this friend of mine went and knelt beside him to help him pick up the stuff and was telling him, it's okay, don't worry about it. The manager comes over. He's also helping pick it up. And the old man was like, you know, kind of shaking and embarrassed and saying, I'm sorry, I know I got to pay for all this. And the manager was like, you don't have to pay for anything. We have insurance for that. Don't worry about it. That is just a level of human caring that's really rare these days. And then when I read that this morning, this was just uplifting. I think we need more positivity and more uplifting things like that to happen. You know, and we all can be part of that. You know, instead of being the ones with our phones out, you know, recording something for World Star, get involved in the happenings of the world around you. Be a participant, not a spectator. I think that's the best thing I would say to people. FormerlyME, instead of me watching other YouTubers doing body transformations, instead of me watching other people and being jealous or envious about, oh, look at how great they look or what wonderful life they're living, I'm choosing to live the best life I can. I'm choosing to work at it and earn the body I want, to earn the life I want. And so part of me is, you know, that's what FormerlyME is to capture and do. So, thank you, Timestamp Guy. I've added you as a moderator. Preston Reeves, I have added you as a moderator so you can help clean up the chat for me. Can you reach the speaker button at Sonic on the Vet? There's no ludicrous speed on the Corvette, but there will be on the Roadster. Sandra, thank you as well. You've been awesome, Sandra. Thank you. In fact, if I hadn't made you a moderator, there you are. I will not start speeding, Danny. I'm too old for that stuff. That's, you know, if you really think about it, the science behind speeding. Okay, I lived in Germany for about 3 years, and I did a trip from Heidelberg to Berlin once. And, you know, the Autobahn, there's no speeds. I think I was easily hitting like 115, 120. The amount of time that I saved, like when you can put the GPS on and you're trying to beat the GPS estimated time, maybe 12, 13 minutes, that whole trip, that's all the time I saved, no matter how fast I drove. It's just not worth it. The science and the math just doesn't, speeding doesn't really get you there. If anything, it just increases your risk of having an accident and dying. So we got Kai, a friend who's studying to be in psychology. Great job. We definitely need more mental health and behavioral health in our world. I was referring to starting to take meth. Don't speak. All right. Yes, I lived in Germany. Doner kebab. I mean, anywhere you go in Germany, you gotta have some doner kebab. So, yeah. The doner kebabs, I'm trying to think of some of my favorite places. There was a spot in Leimen, Germany, south of, I think it was, no, it was north of Wiesbaden, or no, north of Heidelberg. That was a great place. Fix my audio. I can't do nothing about the speakers that they're blaring at this place. I'm at Papa's on the Lake, and they play, you know, 80s rock, and it's just loud. You know, even as far as the way I'm sitting from the building, it's loud. That Sonic drive-through speaker button to order food. Yep. Spicken the Deutsch. No, I only know a few words in Deutsch. Like, I lived in the Middle East for so long, I only know a few words in the Middle East. Oh, I was going to talk about the Germany. I had a funny Germany story. So, Jeebus says, hi, I'm doing great today. I do not speak many languages, mistaken identity, unfortunately. I know a few words in a few languages, but not enough to conversate. So my Germany story, I was talking earlier about banana Weissen. It's banana nectar mixed with Weissen beer. Super, super delicious. When I first went to Germany, a friend of mine, we were working in Kuwait. We decided, hey, let's just take a long 4 or 5 day weekend and let's just hop around Europe. So we arrive, we fly into Frankfurt, and we get in a car, and we go immediately we wanted to take a riverboat up the Rhine River. And so we just missed the boat. The ferry had just left the little port, the dock, and there was a restaurant there. So we said, oh, well, let's go get our first German meal. He wanted to have chicken schnitzel. And at the time, I think I was just, I just wanted to try beer. You know, you're in Germany, you got to try some beer. So there's this long menu of all these wines and beers. And so my first German restaurant experience, it was a very young male waiter. And he's seen me look through this menu. And I asked him, I said, well, what would you recommend? He goes, Americans. He goes, you should have the Coke beer. I'm like, but he says it with a German accent. It's like Coke beer. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll have the Coke beer. Well, it literally is what it just sounds like. It's Coca-Cola mixed with beer. But he brings it out in this nice goblet, and it's so tasty. I mean, I ended up drinking like 6 of these. I had a little bit of a buzz going on to the boat when the next boat came in about an hour and a half. I get on the boat, and there's a bar on the boat. And I go to the bar and I ask for a Coke beer, and they're like, well, we don't have Coke beer, but we'll sell you the Coke, and we'll sell you the beer in another glass, and then you just mix it up. So now I'm an alchemist trying to mix the ratio of Coke to beer. Oh yeah, Coke beer is amazing. I'll get to the other one. It's called a Radler, which is like a 7-Up or Sprite mixed with beer. They drink it during lunch. It's really refreshing. Anyhow, back to the Coke beer story. So I'm on the boat trying to mix Coke beer. Now, what happens on these ferries going up the Rhine is, you know, there'll be a castle on the right side, right? So all the people on the boat will go to that side, and everybody's doing their selfies and their videos of the castle. Then all of a sudden, oh, on the other side there's a castle. Then everybody goes to the other side. Well, here's the funny part. After about 5-10 minutes of a ferry ride, you start to realize there are hundreds of castles along the Rhine River. And so after a while, people like start settling down and not getting excited anymore. And now you know why there's a bar on the boat. So then people just start drinking, and like, how many more hours of this do I got to do? So I think me and my friend got off at Koblenz because we were tired of being on the boat. So we ended up taking the train from Koblenz to Amsterdam. But so I go to Amsterdam, and I remember we go to a Hard Rock there, and I asked the waiter, hey, do you have Coke beer? And he's confused, but I explained. I said, well, it's Coke mixed with beer. He goes, diesel. So I was like, wait a minute. Different countries have different names for this thing that Germany just introduced me to, right? So he brings me out, you know, diesel. Now, he does tell me, please don't mix Coke with Heineken, because, you know, Heineken's like the national treasure of Holland. So, by the way, if you're ever in Amsterdam, go to the Heineken experience. Go to the Heineken Museum. It's a lovely tour. Great information, and you get like at least 4 beers by the time you're done with that tour. But anyhow, I went to London. I forget what they called it in London, but Coke beer had a different name in London. So that's the first part of the story. A year and a half later, I go move to Germany, and I had a German friend of mine come with me to, I think it's called a Rewe, R-E-W-E. I think it's pronounced Rewe. It's a supermarket there, and she's taking me through the supermarket, you know, explaining to me the different German words for like chicken, like turkey, I forget the word for turkey, but like Rind is beef. So she's showing me like the different German words for different foods so that I can know what they are for shopping. Well, we get to the back area of the store, and there's a huge, several aisles wine section and alcohol and beers, and I see Coke beer. And I point at it, and I go, oh my God, there's Coke beer, I got to get some of that. She starts laughing hysterically. She goes, you know Coke beer? I said, I love it. The first time I came to Germany, it was the first thing I drank in Germany. And she goes, that's what we give our kids to drink. Our children in Germany drink Coke beer. And of course, I'm like, oh, now I realize when the waiter was like, Americans, you'll have the Coke beer. Like, I wasn't good enough for the real deal. At least that's the story that from my perspective. But I still love Coke beer. And Radlers, if you ever get a chance to try Radler, it's super refreshing. So, how did you get into? All right, Kai, how did you get into cybersecurity? So, back in the mid-'90s, I started building computers. Back then, I think you could buy the parts and build a computer for roughly about $500 to $800. whereas retailing, people were paying up to $3,000 for a computer, and I could build it to 5 to 8. So I started working with a couple friends of mine in a business where we would build computers and then sell them to like hospitals, small clinics, lawyer, doctor offices. And then from there, I went to work at CompUSA. I was a master technician. And then being a master technician, some cool stories while I was there. I worked at the store that used to be in Metairie, Louisiana. I one time fixed Trent Reznor's laptop. True story. He came in, he had a sound driver issue, and the technician at the front desk came to grab me from the back, and I walk out, and it's Trent Reznor. All right, hopefully that might be better. I just hit off the Wi-Fi. Dip switches, yeah, that's some old times. Yeah, IRQ settings, interrupt settings. To continue the story about the Trent. So if it cut out on the Trent Reznor, he had his laptop. The sound stopped working. So what I did was I just showed him how to remove and redetect. Go to the software settings or the system settings, and redetect and reload the driver. So once I showed him how to reload the driver, he asked if I had a minute just walk around the store, and so we went down the video card aisle. And the Diamond Monster 2 was the latest video card. If people remember, video cards used to be a daughter card. So you'd have your main video card, and you had a secondary card that would do your video game processing graphics. And I think Quake 2 had just come out. And so, he had did the music for Quake. And so we were talking about that. I was geeking out about that. And then I was talking about the different video cards. And then he left shortly after. So that was the Trent Reznor story. From CompUSA, I went to work for DuPont in La Place, Louisiana. I was kind of like the IT coordinator for the plant, and then from there, I went to work as a defense contractor overseas. Did a lot of years supporting the U.S. Army, and so I just kind of worked up from being a technician all the way up to cybersecurity engineer to now I'm an executive in a company. So, but yeah, the good old days of 14.4 K baud modems, dial-up, 38646 DX processors, all the way up to the ungodliness they have now. So, but yeah, it was a really interesting time to get into cybersecurity. So I was very fortunate that I got in it at a really sweet spot in the mid-90s, and I just been in it ever since. But for anyone wanting to get into cybersecurity now, if you're, YouTube is beautiful because there's thousands of videos explaining tools, applications, hacker exploits. I mean, between YouTube and the internet, you get all this free information. And I would tell anyone, load virtual. If you're running a PC, running Windows, load VirtualBox, load Kali Linux. Get you some, virtual sessions where you can just teach yourself. I mean, self-learning is pretty much what I've done my whole career, and I would advocate it for anyone else. And then as far as formal instruction, I'm kind of leery on formal instruction because a lot of times you pay all these thousands of dollars and you don't really get a lot of value back if that's not the type of learner you are. I hate to plug my stuff, but Active Learning is one of my books on Amazon, and Active Learning will help you identify the type of learner you are and the type of learning that works for you. And if you start with that, that'll help you decide if you need to spend thousands of dollars on a school-taught, instructor-led course, or if you need to self-study and learn on your own. I think most people kind of know if they're more of a lone wolf or a classroom learner already. But and then topcyberpro.com is my website to help people get into cybersecurity. We have master classes on how to pass your certifications, how to write your resume, how to do your interviews, and basically help you transition wherever career you were in, get into cybersecurity. I mean, the mission of that site is to fill the skills gap in cybersecurity. So, iOmega parallel backups, yeah. The iOmega drives, zip drives, yeah. So, Y2K. So when I worked at DuPont, so Y2K, the problem with Y2K, just like anything with technology, we get so dependent on it. And then when some uncertainty gets introduced, it kind of, our whole world kind of starts to implode, right? So the real scary thing about Y2K is because no one knew exactly what would happen to all these antiquated systems. The biggest concerns was the financial institutions because they did not have the time to hard back up everything. And so the worry was that we would lose a lot of financial transaction records. Now, of course, we know nothing happened, but the uncertainty of it did cause a lot of concern. And so, yeah, Y2K, yeah, that was something a lot of people made a lot of money for Y2K. And I think now, there's two things, if I could say from a cybersecurity perspective, that I can share with you guys. There's a thing called Q-Day, where there's different definitions of it, but I'm going to give you what my definition of Q-Day is. Q-Day is when we have the world's first quantum supercomputer. I'm going to be very clear on that. There's a quantum computing, then there's quantum supercomputing. The day that we have a nation state, because more than likely it's going to be a country that produces this, the day that we have a quantum supercomputer will be what's classified as Q-Day. And on Q-Day is where we have the potential for a cyber 9/11 or something along the lines of that, where it could render a lot of crypto systems irrelevant. And that's got a lot of potential danger to it. With that being said, one of my top presentations I get requested to do around the world for the past year and a half is a presentation called The Real Threat of Quantum Computing. And I think that's one of my master classes on topcyberpro.com, I believe. If not, I will be recording that soon. But we can put some robotesting on it, and that'll fix everything. Flux capacitors faster, time travel, no burns. Quantum computing, quantum supremacy. I mean, the idea that if you think about all the ciphertext, right now, like if you're using like a CNSA algorithm to protect your communications, and even the stuff before the current suite of crypto algorithms, all of that ciphertext is being captured and stored in all these server farms around the world, right? So imagine a country that's been sitting on like just petabytes of data, and one day they have a quantum supercomputer that could just immediately read that ciphertext. Imagine the impact that can have. We're talking, military communications. We're talking intelligence operations. For the past, 60 years can become readable overnight. Imagine the ramifications of that from a geopolitical perspective, like with current countries that are friendlies together now being enemies because of finding out, hey, you did an operation that overthrew my government, or you funded this faction in this state. The ramifications on the geopolitical landscape is huge, not to mention the immediate impact of compromising financial transactions, transfers, and things of that nature, or even completely devastating cryptocurrency platforms. Don't even want to get into that discussion on this chat. Billy Screams, dumb it down a little. Okay, the best way I could dumb down Q-Day for you is imagine all the security that you do to protect your private life being immediately readable. Imagine your brain. Everybody can read every thought in your brain immediately and read all your memories in your brain immediately. That's basically the simplest way I could put it. So, Preston, some good comments there, Preston. But you know what? My perspective on it, it might be just like Y2K. It's not a big deal. Q-Day happens, and it's not that big of a deal. Some people believe that privacy, if you don't have nothing to hide, what are you worried about? But we all have something to hide. We all have blinds, windows. We all have, all right, we got a lot of families that just showed up here, so I don't want any kids in my shot. So, all right. So anyhow, this place got really busy all of a sudden. So, they can see search history. Yeah, anything you type into any browser, except for certain browsers, is captured and logged somewhere. Interesting fact, Facebook, social media platforms, if you type, let's say you typed a post, you started typing something, and you said, I don't want to post that, you backspaced it, everything you typed has been captured. It's been captured. Your Google searches, you start to search for something, and you say, backspace out or close out the page. Everything you type is logged. Every keystroke is logged. Part of using that service or clicking the terms of service, etc., gives them the right to do that. It's called opt-in consent. So, yeah. Hold on a second. I got people in the background on my shots. So, I do try to be mindful of people's privacy and things like COPA. when there's kids in there. It's okay. It's okay. I'm live streaming, so I just don't want the kid in the live stream. No worries. Commodore smartphone. Sorry to get off on the cybersecurity stuff again. It can be all doomsday really quickly in cybersecurity. So let's change the subject. So we're actually over an hour and 12 minutes. I think my longest stream before this was the Drive one in San Antonio. That was a pretty long one. Got the stimmy check just now. How much are those stimulus checks? I don't get stimulus checks, but how much was yours? John Martin, you got a stimmy check. How are people doing out there with the stimulus and everything? Check it out, people. No joke, got it already. Preston Reed, Cybersecurity is at 1,400. 1,400 is not bad. What are you going to do with that 1,400, John Martin? Preston Reeves, you got 0. They owe me 3. All right, Preston. Putting it all on crypto. Which one in particular? You're doing the Bitcoin? You're doing a mix of them? There's a is it the Vanderboss? I always forget their name when I'm trying to think of it. The twins that formed Facebook with Zuckerberg in the beginning. They have a new credit card that they're putting out. You can sign up on their site for it. If someone knows what it is, if you can post it in the chat. But they're putting out a new credit card that your cash back is in Bitcoin or in cryptocurrency. So they're going to give you cryptocurrency cash back for all your purchases. And I think that every person at a minimum should do something like that, because even if you don't want to actively put the money you've already earned into crypto, at least have cash back as crypto so you can at least have a little bit of teeth in the game. So 3-hour streams. Wow. Well, I know that my daughter does sleep streams for 6 to 9, 10 hours. So yeah. VeChain, Cardano, Bitcoin. Yep. It's determined that's playing in it, but it's making us money. So keep quiet. Yeah. It's going to continue to make money. I mean, with anything like a stock, if you really think about the history of stock, it's going to have its ups, it's going to have its downs. But I mean, what we've seen. My biggest mistake in life was I had a couple colleagues came to me years and years ago when it first started and said, hey, man, there's this new thing called, and I'm an expert in cryptography, and they were like, hey, you're an expert in crypto. What do you think about this Bitcoin? I was like, Bitcoin, how much is it right now? They were like, well, it's like 20, I think it was 26, 27 cents a coin at the time. And at the time, and again, my lack of understanding of it, I was like, well, I don't know if it's going to, how hackable it is, and the subsystems that they're basing the security on with blockchain. I was like, I think there's still more time and research needs to be done into it. And so they both put about $1,000 each into it. I haven't seen them. I haven't talked or seen those two colleagues since then. I think that's about 64 million plus. They would have cleared if they would have kept that 1,000 in it. But yeah, I should have really threw $1,000 at it and forgot about it. But yeah, everybody's got that story of an opportunity that they wasted. And didn't capitalize on. So, I've heard stories of people that didn't invest in Microsoft when it was real low or didn't invest in Apple. But for me, my biggest misstep in not investing was Bitcoin. Soccer match in Europe, pure trash shooter. Yes, I saw a FC Barcelona game in Barcelona. I saw Messi, Neymar Jr., and a couple other players play. One of the most surreal experiences. The whole stadium just shakes. When I was watching the soccer game, when the player gets the ball close to the opponent's goal, the whole stadium starts going, oh. And then when let's say the player kicks the ball and it's like 50 feet in the air over the goal, not even close, they calm down and they clap for their players. And I'm like, that's such a weird thing that you're clapping even for the missed goal. But when they score, though, it's an eruption. The whole place is shaking. And I think within the first 2 minutes of that game, whoever they were playing, they beat them 8-0. But Messi scored twice within the first 2 to 5 minutes, easy. It was like watching Michael Jordan on the field. And just to watch, again, I was never more astounded than watching Lionel Messi play. But yeah, he scored twice really quick. Then they took him off the field, and then they put in this young kid called Neymar Jr., and he was phenomenal. And but yeah, they just scored at will almost. Tesla electric vehicles. So I have a Tesla Roadster Founders Edition that I'm supposed to get when they go into production. I think Elon was recently on a podcast somewhere stating that the production on those should start next year, 2022. I'm hoping that he is correct on that. And I'm live streaming, so I just don't want your kid in the All right. So the Tesla Roadster, I'm a huge fan of it. I mean, it's got a 0 to 60 in, I think, 1.9 seconds, and theoretically could be faster. So, but as far as hype stock, I think electric vehicles, I mean, everywhere I've traveled recently, I was in Vegas, there's a lot of Teslas on the road. Obviously, the West Coast loves Tesla. Other cities I've been to, I've seen quite a few electric vehicles. And there's the fact that other car manufacturers are getting into the electric battery game. I only see it increasing. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into a discussion about petroleum-based products and derivatives to make batteries because you still need petroleum. So as far as the aspect of saving the environment, that's a split discussion. But as far as the question about is it a viable stock, does it have a future? Yes, it has a future, and I think it'll only go up. So, Tesla semi concept is doing for regional. Yes, I think the doing the semis again. Elon and the people that surround him are not dummies. They definitely have great vision. So, I'm hoping within the next 40 minutes I get a call from Dustin over at Ceramic Detail that my car is ready. I can't wait to see it. The amount of dirt and junk that was on my car, I hadn't washed it in over 30 days. It was filthy, and he's going to be cleaning it up today and putting an OptiSeal coat on it. Battery-powered rockets, can't wait. Yep, 44K on Tesla. Yep. Yeah, it's super crowded here. I might just head back and go capture some of the C8 getting done, now that I think about it. Yes, I did see Messi. I mean, I haven't seen Ronaldo. You saw a match with him. So, you know, everybody wants to talk about the greatest, and they put Messi and him up next to each other. And I think, I've seen clips of both, and I just got to say, in my opinion, if I had to compare them, I would say Messi's kind of like the Michael Jordan, if I had to compare him to another sports great. And then I would put maybe Ronaldo as like the Wayne Gretzky. Both phenomenal scorers, both great footwork, athleticism. But there was something special just watching Messi. I mean, he just like, there was another Spanish team they were playing, but it was like scoring at will. It was ridiculous how he was able to score. Okay, I think we're good here. Must see the new Jeep Grand Wagoneer. All right, so let me go ahead and get an Uber ordered, and I'll see if I can take you guys with me back to Ceramic. Worst case, I have to stop this stream and start another one when I get there. Maybe we can catch Dustin doing some of the treatment on the C8. But anime gamer, hey, it's going well. I'm just killing some time, waiting for the C8 to get done over at Ceramic Detail Conroe. A sleeper, yeah. Oh, you work. Oh, so you know a lot about soccer. If I ever go to another soccer match, I think I'd like to see one in the Middle East, like in Egypt, because usually those soccer games ends in stampedes and people getting trampled to death. I guess they really love and take their soccer super seriously, but I think when you see it, whether it's a concert or sport match, if you go with a lot of super fans, it just makes the energy level like go through the roof. Oh, so I'm not getting the car repaired. It's a detail shop where they put a ceramic coating on my car about 30 plus days ago. So I had to wait 30 days for it to, I guess, harden, or sealed or whatever it cures, and then I couldn't wash it. So he's actually cleaning it up for me today, and he's putting an OptiSeal coating on it. But Dustin over there at Ceramic Detail Conroe has done a phenomenal job. He's taking great care of me. Desert only, no grass soccer fields in Egypt. Rival MMA. All right, let's see if I can get the guy to close me out here. So, talking about the Uber. So, order a book. All my books are on Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com. Let's see if I can. That's not what I want to do there. All right. What's the warranty on the C8? I'm not sure what the manufacturer warranty is, but the extended warranty or the coverage, the enhanced coverage is about $19 a month. It was an easy sell on it for me. The dealer had told me, the guy at the dealer says, they look, for $19 a month, you could do a whole car protection package. Just the tires on the C8 run $1,000 a pop. So he's like, hey, if you get anything happen damage to your tires, you're going to want it covered. So for $20 a month, it's well worth it, considering just the tires are $1,000 a pop. It is not an all-wheel drive. One second, I gotta blow my nose. How many books have I written? I think I have over 50 publications. I have audiobooks, I have ebooks, paperbacks. Just the Magic Case series, each book has a first edition, which is the black cover, a special illustrated edition. So you have ebook, paperback, so that's 4 publications right there. And then I have an audio book for each one, so that's 5 publications for each book. Times 4 books, that's 20 publications just right there. I have my short stories. I have a lot of nonfiction work, so over 50 plus publications. Germany, best team in the world. Okay, Yellow Wall. What car brand do you like the most? So I used to be a Dodge fan for most of my life. I've had, when my girls were younger, I had the Dodge Caravan with the dual sliding doors. I had a Stratus at one time. I had a Dakota truck one time. Recently I had the Charger Scat Pack. So does the C8 have a lot of blind spots? Actually, what I like about the C8 is the mirrors are, the one mirror on the passenger side is slightly longer than the other one because it gives you that coverage on your sides. And the mirror is a video mirror. Like, you can flip it up down. You can have the actual where you can see the mid-engine and have very limited view out the back. But then they also have, when you flip it down, it's a video. That the camera, you get the camera view from the back of your car. So it's got pretty good coverage for blind spots on the C8. Favorite genre of books in general? I love fantasy. My favorite series as a kid was Chronicles of Prydain, by Lloyd Alexander. It's the Book of Three, The Black Cauldron, Castle of Lair, Tarred Wanderer, and The High King. 5-book series. Excellent series, kind of middle grade series. I love that series. If I could write a series that was perfectly nested in middle grade, it would be one just like that. No, not trying to emulate that guy. No aspirations to do that. But yeah, the Chronicles of Prydain is a great series. He infuses it with Welsh mythology, a lot of great stories and stuff that are interwoven in it. It's an astounding series. And in fact, the last book, The High King, he won a Newbery Medal, well earned for a Newbery Medal. So I'm going to try to find my waiter. So I might have to go in and close out. So even though Texas recently lifted its face mask stuff, I'm going to still mask up as I walk through here. So let me, first let me finish the B12. That's my B12 for today. What's your favorite airline? So we talked about airlines earlier, but the Emirates. Has Texas has stalled yet? All right, so let's see. Let me go ahead and take you guys. I'm gonna close out. and see if I can get an Uber. Trying to also respect people's privacy. That's my waiter. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to close out here. So, what was your worst airline experience? My worst airline experience, and hopefully I don't get a fatwa issued at me, but it was an airline that goes to Sharjah, UAE. Sharjah, Sharjah. Anybody that lived in the Middle East know that airline? Flies into Sharjah. Wow, what was that airline called? Because it was horrible. I mean, next to having almost livestock on the plane, that was the worst airline. The AC didn't work on the plane, so it was super humid and hot, and we were already in the Middle Eastern desert. I think it was called Air Arabia, I believe. Can someone Google that real quick? I think it was Air Arabia was the worst airline. As far as U.S.-based airlines, I once flew the airline years ago that had the crash in Everglades. I think it was like JetBlue or something. I forget the name of the airline, but the airline back then, I flew the same plane that actually crashed a week later in the Everglades. I was going to Florida, and the face mask dropped down. First time in my life I ever had face masks drop down on a plane. And it was super scary, but there was no oxygen coming through the mask. And then that same plane a week later crashed in the Everglades. Yes, Air Arabia. Yep. Thank you, Shami Wall. That is the worst airlines I've flown overseas. Wait for the waiter to close me out. Oh, there he is over there. Let's go over there. Kuwait Airways is so, yeah. Got it right there? Thank you. No worries, no worries. Thanks for taking good care of me.
Yeah, I was trying not to bother you too much.
No, I'm live streaming. No worries.
Yeah, you seemed like you were good over there for
Yeah.
a while. So here's the pin for you.
Please just sit there right there.
Yeah, I got the drink.
All right, thank you.
You have yourself a good day, okay?
I don't need a copy of the receipt, so thank you.
Thank you so much.
One of my pet peeves, if I can share something, is where people don't tip well. I remember my daughters, they would go get like their hair done or like nails done, and then they wouldn't tip for the person doing the work. I'd be like, if you can't afford to tip, don't go out to eat. Don't go and get these services done, because a lot of these people that work in the service industry, they live on tips. And so I used to be a waiter. One of my first jobs when I was young was being a waiter, and so I remember just last night I was somewhere where somebody got like $1 tip. And it was just infuriating to just hear about this. If you can't afford a tip, now if the service is really bad, make a complaint. Be vocal about a complaint. But this, a lot of people, they live on tips. So yeah, it's one of my pet peeves when people don't tip well. Longest flight, 16 hours. I think 16 hours was my longest flight. All right, now I'm gonna have to see how this works, guys. I'm gonna try to order the Uber now. Turn this sideways because. Second, get this Uber going. Where to? This might actually work. Scanning detail. Confirm. Alright, we'll see how long it takes for this. See how far they're out. And the Uber driver is how far? Oh my god, I gotta wait 19 minutes. Really? Well, I guess I'll just be standing a while. It's not gonna connect to me anyone closer. There are very few Uber drivers out here. I guess they're all closer to the woodlands. I got somebody that's... Okay, 14 minutes. They're complete. All right, so I'm back. This chat is more autistic. I think if you look at a lot of autism signs, flags, symptoms, etc., I think it is possible with certain things of that nature that everybody could have a degree of it. And when you think about how many people have ever had trouble focusing, how many people had hyperfocus, how many ever people had higher than normal levels of anxiety, you know, all these things can kind of run and kind of cross over real easily. So, yeah, I think when it comes to things of that nature, I think we all can, at times, either at times or all the time, can identify with a lot of things that people go through on there. I'm sorry if I'm cutting out. I'm on my cellular, and I'm by a lake, and I'm up here in the Conroe area. So I'm just waiting on the Uber. Yeah, so that's Papa's on the lake here in Conroe. Again, the whole purpose of this stream was just to kill some time. My C8 is finally getting cleaned after 30 days of no washing, and because it had the ceramic coating, had the seal, and he's doing the OptiSeal coating. Supposedly that's going to make it as shiny as it's ever going to be, so I can't wait to go see it, and that's probably the shiniest the car will ever be, because other than hand washing and waxing from now on, I plan to have this car for just a year until my Tesla Roadster Founders Edition comes in. See you, Preston. Okay, where did you get your drive for success? Matt from Boston. I grew up in foster care, Central Louisiana. My foster mother, when I would complain about living in the country and having to, take care of chickens and hogs and, tend to a garden and mow 2+ acres every 5 days, I would always complain about living in the country and all the hard work I had to do. So I had a hard work ethic instilled in me when I was a young kid. But when I'd complain about living in the country, she would tell me, well, if you don't like living in the country and don't like this hard life, then you need to hit the books in school really hard. And I literally did. I actually, I went and, I think in 5th grade, I took and I did a essay on every subject article in an Encyclopedia Britannica. Like from A through Z, I did an article, short essay on everything in the encyclopedia for extra credit in 5th grade. And to this day, if I ever go to a trivia night or if I play Trivia Pursuit with anybody, I'm super hated because I'm a ringer for trivia because I have all this useless knowledge stuck in my head. But as far as my drive for success, it came from my foster mother. She was real tough with me, but she told me if I wanted to get anywhere and get out of the country, I had to hit the books hard. So I read a lot of books, I learned a lot, and it's my education and knowledge has taken me around the world. So what drove me was wanting to change my life. I think anybody, if you get uncomfortable enough, I think it's at the edge of when you're uncomfortable, you're willing to make a real change. And for some people, they won't change until they reach that level of being uncomfortable. So for some people in life, they like to go and attack people, they like to be negative, they like to do stupid things, but until they're made to feel uncomfortable enough, they won't really change. And so, I'm not really trying to speak about anybody in particular, but I think we all know people in our lives that until they get made to feel super uncomfortable, they won't really change for the better. Rosanero Bateg, your human encyclopedia. I wish I was. I wish I had a whole Wikipedia knowledge in my head, but like I said, as I get older, I'm pretty sure the neurons won't connect as well as they do now. So, love trumps all. Thank you, Preston. Good statement there. So sorry about the wind. It's super windy now. Still says fighting the wind. Yeah, no, let me turn it around this way. Maybe the wind won't blow as bad into the speaker. Perfect hairline. I will just leave that to genetics. My mother was half Korean, half Japanese, so my father was a Heinz 57 mutt, as we say in America. But I think maybe my hair is probably from my mother. Yeah, I know you're losing me. The signal is kind of spotty right here. Definitely genetics. I think there's certain things you can control, certain things you can't. So. Someone looking to Leroy Jetson, what's your advice for someone looking to publish a book one day? You know, the great thing about the internet is, you know, you can just look how to publish a book, and there's like at least 50 plus sites that'll give you steps to how to do it. You know, Amazon, the KDP program, Kindle Direct Publishing program, is super easy. I mean, as soon as you sign up as an author on it, you can literally download templates, like Word document templates, to start typing your manuscript into, or copy pasting your current manuscript into the format for paperback printing, because they all have all the different sizes that you download as a zip file. As far as the writing process, there's a lot of structure. It depends on what genre you're writing to. I think that's called writersdigest.com. It's a great website to get, to read about publishing or writing a book and getting good information there. Blogging, been big into blogging. With a lot of things I got going on. I run 7 businesses. I have MovieWrongs.com is my movie review site. I got TopCyberPro.com. I got JimWestAuthor.com, MagicKMathematica.com, FormerlyME.com. With all the different things I got going on, it's hard to sit down and actually try to blog. So this streaming stuff has been new to me. So, have you been in Japan? Yes, I highly recommend Japan. Japan is, of all the places I've been to, Japan is where I felt I was on a different planet. I went to Tokyo a few times, and I've been to Osaka. Both beautiful, beautiful cities. Osaka is super peaceful and serene. I went to go see a couple of temples and shrines there, and one of the oldest ones was off of a main street with lots of traffic. But as soon as I walked into the garden, I don't know what kind of soundproofing they do, but it was like I couldn't even hear the traffic on the street just outside, and it was super peaceful and serene. One of the most peaceful moments I've had in life, next to Death Valley, the most peaceful, serene moment I've had. But the Tokyo is amazing. I mean, if anybody that's a fan of just anything that's eccentric, eclectic, different, outside of the norm, go to Japan. It's got beauty, it's got nature, but it's also got that pure anime. I mean, it's the birthplace of anime, right? So who doesn't like anime? One day we'll be in a world where we have, probably in the future, be 100G connectivity, everywhere. It's you won't be. It'll be a challenge to find a place where you don't have internet connectivity. I think we'll. Will Alexa drive your car? I don't know if I can trust an AI fully yet to completely drive a car. Driving a self-driving car, or ride in one rather. I'm sorry about the cutting out. Between the wind, the connectivity, and me just waiting on an Uber driver, I'm hoping this will stay connected all the way until I get to Ceramic Detail Conroe and pick up the. Well, I won't be picking up C8. He probably needs another hour, but we can go see Dustin and what he's doing to it. Okay, Matt from Boston, you're a real inspiration. I hope in the future I can ask you for work. By all means, what I'll tell you guys is I read every comment that goes on my YouTube channel, on the videos. I read them. I try not to respond to all of them, because the problem is time is just one of those things where if I do feel compelled to respond, I will. So if you do ask a question, and just like on these streams, I will try to respond as much as possible. Sat phone upgrade, yeah, Preston, I hear you there. So AI becoming self-aware, right? When does AI So there's been some famous stories when Microsoft, I know Microsoft had an AI, Google had one. My brain is drawing a blank, but there was one of them that started formulating its own language. And that was pretty scary, that it made its own language so that no one could, because it was aware that it was being monitored. So it created its own language. So that was pretty scary. Then there was the one that they put on Twitter. I forget which company did that, but I think it was Microsoft did the one on Twitter. And within I think it was 6 hours, 5-6 hours, it became homophobic. hateful. It just took all the negativity of the internet and ingrained it into its personality. So that was another interesting experiment with AI. Thank you, Rosanero. Have a good jog there. So yeah, the AI discussion, it's interesting because, again, what a lot of companies market as artificial intelligence, it's not really artificial intelligence. It's more like data routing, database routing. It's interesting because I see it a lot when I go to conventions or conferences that I speak at. I see a lot of vendors and businesses touting that they're using AI, and they're not really using AI. It's just a marketing gimmick. True AI is there are quite a few of them out there, but like I said, the stories that we've heard in the media, at least, are pretty scary from the few. Yes, AIs can be toxic if they're designed and geared to assimilate knowledge and assimilate a resemblance of a personality like the one that was on Twitter. Yeah, machine learning. Yes, thank you for the term there. To a degree, Preston, an algorithm to a degree. So let me see the update on the Uber. Uber says, oh, he's pulling up. We got Joseph here in a silver Mazda. Did I already miss him? No, he's should be turning in soon. All right, so we're gonna have an Uber here soon. We'll be able to go check on the C8. Thank you so much for joining the chat, Sandra. And thank you for spending time with me as well. Thank you. Let's see, I think that's him right there. Oh, he's just driving right past me. Yeah, there he is. Hello, how are you doing? Oh, I rode with you earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's only 2 Uber drivers up here in the Conroe area. All right, so I'm just live streaming in the back seat. I won't get you on the video. No worries. So thank you. So yeah, this is the same Uber driver that actually took me from Ceramic to Papas on the Lake. It's only a short drive, so I'm excited to see how far Dustin's got with the C8 and show you guys what it's looking like. Thank you, Sandra. Be safe, be well. Thank you. Commodore 64 now takes coffee, now makes coffee. So yeah, I just posted on my Facebook page what the car looked like. Actually, he just got done with, I think it was a either 2018 or 2019 Corvette Stingray white. I hope it's still here. I can show that to you guys. He just finished doing a ceramic coating on it. So I pulled in with my C8 and, right next to the previous design of the Corvette. And, man, it just looks so clean. How dirty my car was. And, black, I've always loved the color black. I mean, I wear it every day. It's my favorite color. And, having my black car, it just shows up every little speck of dust, dirt, every little scratch, any swirly in the paint. It shows everything. It's just, but it's my favorite color. And when it's your favorite color, you got to do the best you can with it. So, all right, video game. What games are you playing? I was just on Black Ops 4 last night. I said that on a previous stream. I still play Black Ops 4. I'm really behind the times. I mean, I have the Modern Warfare, but I just didn't really level up so much in it, and I didn't have a lot of time during that time. So the last game that I played where I leveled up or unlocked a lot of things was Black Ops 4. So that's how far out of date I am on shooters, but I do love playing shooters. All right, so here we are. We're now already here at the ceramic detail, and I'm hoping that I'm pretty sure he still needs about another 30. Oh, it's out front. Is he done with it? It looks like he is. Well, we're about to see. Thank you so much, Joseph. Oh, God. It's definitely clean. I don't know if he's got the OptiSeal on it, but it's super clean. No, it's not. It's pollen. All right, thank you so much. Have a great day. All right, are y'all ready? C8. Oh, and the personalized plates are on it. Let me rate the trip. 1 second. This is not working. All right, there it is. There's C8. Oh, and there's the white one right there. That is just. I just gotta say that is super clean. I want to give out. He's got a custom plate on it too, so I don't want to put that on here. But yeah. So Dustin. So here I am. This is Dustin, Ceramic Detail Conroe. So are we done?
We're done.
Oh my goodness! Look at that gloss and shine on it. Oh, so I got this personalized plate cover thing that goes around the edge here. So one of the things I love to say is boosh. It comes from a show on used to be on Adult Swim called Frisky Dingo. So anybody that's ever seen Frisky Dingo, Killface, a lot of characters on the show, Xander Cruz to go boosh. And so I say that a lot. My colleagues that know me, friends that know me, I say boosh a lot. So I got boosh and then JimWestAuthor.com. But yeah, so it's got an OptiSeal on it.
Windshield coating.
Okay.
Yeah, just clean it up and make it good again.
Great. So how long does OptiSeal last?
It usually only lasts a couple weeks. It's not really necessary when your car's coated like yours is, but if somebody's just wanting it to always look like it has that freshly coated appearance, you can put OptiSeal on it every time you wash it. Use it as a drying aid.
It's a drying aid. Okay. So how long does it take to put it on the whole car? I'm going to put this in the laptop in the car real quick.
Minute and a half.
A minute and a half?
It doesn't take long.
Wow. So right now what I'm seeing on the car is just pollen, right?
Yeah, it's just as pollen as some bad days.
Uh-huh. Now it'll blow off, right?
Yeah.
The pollen will blow off? Yeah. So all right, so for those that saw my previous stream on the ceramic coating, so explain again real quick for people that are watching this for the first time, what does a ceramic coating do for your car?
Well, it's really necessary for a black car. Black cars they swirl up real easy. They're difficult to maintain.
Because you had to do a paint correction on it, right?
Right.
Because it had so many swirlies. Like I had picked this up from the dealer like a week before, brought it in here, and until he sent me the pictures, I didn't even notice with my eye. But when you look at it in the sunlight, had all these swirlies and like it looked like scratches all throughout the car, right?
Yeah, pretty typical, especially on a black vehicle. Unfortunately, not to sound mean, but black GM vehicles are about the worst.
And how long does it take to do like a paint
correction?
Paint correction?
Depending on the color. White, obviously, it doesn't take near as long.
Yeah, like a white car like that, yeah.
Black, and anywhere from...
You had the car for about 2 days?
2 days. Yeah. I mean, you're looking 8 to 10 hours. The first day is just getting it...
Paint correction?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the ceramic coating takes how long, roughly?
A couple hours.
Couple hours.
So the majority of the time, it's just getting the car ready. Just like painting a car, it's all in the prep.
Got it. So with the reason, why did I have to wait 30 days? No washing the car.
So whenever you put on a coating, the coating is real soft. It takes a manufacturer's
it
takes a curing process, anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks. I just tell everybody give it a month. That way, you know that the coating's adhered properly, you know it's cured properly, and then you don't have anything to worry about.
Got it. And so the OptiSeal is just another layer of protection, just giving it a high shine gloss because it is super shiny. I mean, it looks like kind of like piano lacquer, like on a piano. That's the best way I can describe it right now. So wow, it looks super clean. Well, Dustin, you did a great job. I'll make sure that I update this video description with your link to your website. Cool. Anybody that's got a vehicle in the Houston area, make the drive up here to Conroe, see ceramic, see Dustin here. He's taking phenomenal care of me. The reason why I chose Dustin, if I could share the story real quick. When I was talking to a bunch of different ceramic coat people, a lot of coat people just they're salesmen. They just are trying to sell you. But what Dustin did for me, he took the time to explain the differences with the different coatings. He took the time to explain the pros and cons of paint protection film versus the ceramic coating. He would ask me questions like, how long do you really plan to have this car for? And I think one of the things he told me was when I was trying to debate whether I was going to go with paint protection film or ceramic coating, and I told you, I said I'm getting my Roadster in a year. You're like, look, man, why pay $7,000, $8,000 for the next guy to enjoy your car?
Right.
And that right there, I was like, Dustin, you're the guy I'm going to give my business to. And so I like that when someone's very informative, and because other people were like, oh yeah, you want to do both. You want to do both the paint protection film and then put a ceramic coating on top. And I mean, I would have spent $13,000, $14,000 to do that. But Dustin was straight up with me, gave me the pros and cons of both. So anyhow, check the odometer. I will in 1 second. I'm about to get in the car, and I'll see if I can transition the stream. But Dustin, thank you so much. Are you anything right now?
No,
Are we all good?
Yeah, we're good, man.
Well, thank you so much.
You bet.
Oh, you have the keys?
Yeah.
So there she is again. So there's one he did right here. What year is this one? 2017. So that is just super nice. I mean, I think this was the one they had in the Captain America, or the one that the Scarlett Johansson Black Widow pulled up the pickup Captain America in. Was that model? Thank you so much, Dustin.
Buddy.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Do I have? Oh, I have a towel. You have another one of those towels I can have? Oh, thank you. Another, you've got to have one of these towels to keep on in. All right, let me get in this thing. So as someone that's 6'4", there's a process to getting in the car. Now I can take that mask off. All right. So I'm happy to have my car back. Let's see if I can switch out of here without dropping. All right, I'm going to see if I can get you guys up in here. I have a mount, but all right. Let's get this thing cranked. All right, so we're in the car now. He's doing a video. So odometer reading 1,072 miles. So 1072 is the mileage that I have on my C8. So I love the black. The white's super clean and nice looking, but I've always loved black, and I love an all black car. Yeah, Dustin's a great guy, super great guy, super nice, super informative, and that's what I liked. Everybody else I called was just a typical, of course, just salesman, just trying to sell me on, layering up the services and the packages, and Dustin didn't. Dustin, when he asked me how long do you plan on driving your Corvette for, and I told him, I said, my C8, if Elon is right, I'll have my Tesla Roadster Founders Edition in 2022, hopefully by spring or summer of 2022, so not even a year. And he says, dude, just get a ceramic coating on it, save your money. Doing a paint protection film and a ceramic coating is overkill. And I was like, thank you, man. I really appreciate you just being real honest, because he was like, if this was my car, this is what I do. And at that moment, Dustin was like, you're the guy I want to give my business to. All right, what do we have here? Oh, I think my phone is flipped around because of the way I had it oriented when I started the stream. So my apologies if it looks like I'm driving on the other side like a UK driver. So anyhow, well, I got my car. It's been clean. It has not been this clean in over 30 days. It feels great to have a clean car. I personally always like to keep my car super clean. I don't eat in my cars. And always like to get them hand waxed. And there's nothing better than like when you have a shower and you have a super clean car. Just feeling fresh and clean is like one of the best feelings in the world. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that. So, well, this has been officially, so for everyone to stay here this long, thank you so much. I mean, I'm hitting 2 hours on a live stream, and be full honest with you guys, I didn't never think I'd reach 2 hours on stream. When I did the one in San Antonio, I know I had a lot of connection issues. Just like today, I had some buffering connection issues, and now it looks like it's going to rain again. But it's been a great experience, actually. I've really enjoyed talking with you guys, having great conversations with the chat. Thank you for all the guys that have moderated the chat for me. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, because a lot of folks were trying to spam the chat earlier. So thank you so much. No, this is red, so I don't know if on the video it's showing up as orange, but it's a dark red. So maybe the video is not showing it as dark as it is. So yeah, I've mentioned it before on the live stream before. I do want to start doing a regular live stream from the Corvette, maybe when I'm on the way to the gym. Maybe it'll be like a 20-25 minute stream where I just have like a topic of the day, just as a quick Corvette chat. Maybe that's what I'll title it. I'll call it Corvette chat. So, but I do enjoy interacting on these live streams. I do enjoy the conversations that we have. So,